O-E-I-A, E-I-E-I-A.
Your choir on the fire in the house. Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. Happy 21 years old. You don't look a day over 10. You're looking good. So, if you got your cell phone on, text somebody, call somebody, and tell them to come on down. Because we're down here celebrating, having a real good time. And if you're not doing that, put that cell phone away so we can have you present with us here. So we're getting ready to do a song that you know, but you may not know the whole song. So I'll bring you in on your part. Are you ready for that? Yeah. When I bring you in, will you come in and sing loud and clear? Will you stand up and shake a, shake a, shake a? All right, y'all.
Truth
we let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
With a 21-year-old congregation on fire too, y'all.
And Gina Walker, the choir director. 21 years. We're legal. Let's go to a bar. Or wait, wrong crowd. Good morning and welcome to Universal Spirit Center. I'm Kevin Busey. I have the great joy and honor and privilege for 21 years to be the spiritual leader of this community, and I welcome you all here this morning. So wherever you are, literally wherever you are, your home, your office, your workplace, or here with us this morning, wherever you are, whoever you are welcomed here. You are welcome. So I take a moment to acknowledge all of you who join us for the first time today. We're glad that you're with us. If you're online for the first time with us, we welcome you as well. Please know that you find yourself in a welcoming, inclusive spiritual community. And today's a great day because 21 years ago today, we gathered on Sunday for the first time. So who was there 21 years ago? Would you stand? Stand up. A few of you. All right. Yeah, a number of you. Many of us did not have gray hair back then. What can you say? So I have a couple quick announcements, and then I'm going to hand this off to Bob. The first is, look at these beautiful flowers. Aren't they awesome? And they're in honor of Conrad and Borghild's 50th wedding anniversary. 50 years. 50 years. And never a fight. We're so impressed. We're so impressed. Next month, I'm going to start talking from the book on Sundays, The Soul of Money. It's a great classic. It's only 20 years old, but it's a great classic of combining our experience of money and spirituality. What a weird concept. I didn't have that concept when I was growing up of combining those two. Anyway, going to talk about it for the month. So if you're interested in getting the book, feel free to do that. You could follow along with me as I speak about it. And then on the Tuesdays in October, I'm going to be having a book study, 6:30 to 7:30 across the street at our classroom. And we're just going to discuss our relationship with money, kind of in reference to the soul of money. So I invite you to there. It's Love Offering. There's a sign-up sheet there outside. I'm getting over a little head cold. So sign up if you're interested. It'll be fun. We'll explore the book. Also, I'm going to let Bob continue here, and then I'll do my final announcement when Bob's done.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mosai, and I have your announcements for today. So before we start, for those of you, especially online, if you have any questions about what I'm going to say in these following announcements, please email us at info@universalspiritcenter.org. Grief Support Group starts Mondays in October at 6:30 across the street in our offices. Love Offering basis. Online people see our classes tab on the website, and also there's a sign-up sheet at the yes table outside. And Borghild, stand up. She's running the grief group. Thank you. What our animal friends can teach us about life, a new online book study, 6 Tuesday evenings on Zoom at 6:30 starting October 11th. Reverend Sherry Join her for reflections on what our pets can teach us about life. You do not have to be a pet owner to explore the wonderful world of our human-animal relationships and how they can reveal spiritual wisdom. Based on the book Two Dogs and a Parrot by Sister Joan Chittister, Love Offering Basis. And there's also a sign-up sheet on the yes table outside. First Saturday with Angels. Tune in with different energies with Margot Alora. Margot, do you want to stand? On October 1st at 10 a.m. at the offices across the street. Awakening Wednesday. Join Toby Geis, healing breathwork in person and online. Bring yoga mat and water. Honor yourself by taking care of yourself. Our history. This day in history, President Lincoln, issues Emancipation Proclamation on September 22nd, 1862. President Abraham Lincoln issues a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation which sets the date for freedom for more than 3 million slaves in the United States and recasts the Civil War as a fight against slavery. To overcome racial inequality, we must confront our history. We all are part of our history. Racial Equality Project, our call to action this month, honoring Hispanic Month for the month of October. Watch the video to find out more about our Hispanic family. See the link on Racial Equality page on our website. And speaking of anniversaries, I did some reflecting over what I have been going on in the last 21 years, and I realized that the degree that I have in history is useless. Why? Because there's no future.
So for those of you who are new, you just experienced a Bob joke. So the final announcement I have is on October 15th. Mark your calendars for this because it's not a date to be mixed. October 15th, we're having a blues and barbecue concert. It's going to be in Mission Hills at the former Aesthetics. It's a very nice outside area on Spruce Street. So here's the deal. You can buy a ticket for $65 to get you Southern style barbecue, a free drink, and then watch the concert. That's going to be really great. And that would start at 6 o'clock. Or if you just want to go to the concert, which starts at, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock's the dinner. Or if you just want to go to the concert, those tickets are $35, and then you would arrive at 6:30 and experience the blues concert and a drink as well. Since we're legal, we're introducing alcohol too. So you could get the tickets either at our yes table outside or online to buy a ticket. Okay. The Pete Johnson Band is playing. With who? Gino. Oh, Gino! Gino!
You don't want to miss it.
If somehow you don't get enough of Gino, come that night. Come that night. Of course not. Of course not. So I'm going to invite you to stand. I'm going to invite you to turn around and look just below the clock to that camera and wave to everyone. Everyone who joins us online, thank you for joining us online. We were so glad that you're with us here this morning on our 21st anniversary. And so stay standing and welcome each other to Universal Spirit Center.
that was nice. Everyone followed the cues of the music and started to settle down. You guys are better than some of my students. So now is our time to bring our energy more inward and settle into our space and our chair and have some time for reading and meditation and prayer. So I'll just invite you, wherever you are here and online, just to take a moment and allow yourself to center your awareness, let your thoughts settle, let the energy return back into your centered in your beingness. Maybe tune into your breath, following that in and out, or maybe tune into your body and how it's supported by the chair. So just feeling the stillness of the moment, allowing the consciousness of the infinite to saturate your being. So in this space, I'll share our reading today. Our reading is from Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit. He writes, "The divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. All instinctively feel this. We do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which the soul craves." How good it is to know that bondage is not God ordained, that there is an infinite loving presence that wants to know itself in the most expressive freedom it can, and each unique individual expression of it. And that we are aligned with that. We are it. It is the stuff and substance of our being. And so how good it is to know that in community, to behold that in ourselves and each other, to see all the wonderful ways that the Spirit can show up, and just be grateful and delight in that expression. And so I know a delight in the expression of Spirit pouring its words and wisdom and humor and love through Rev Kevin. I delight in the songs of joy and powerful truth coming through our Choir on Fire and our Sounds of Spirit and our beloved Gino Walker. I delight in the way that God serves God and all the hands that helped set up our time together today with Bob and Lee and Tim and Michaela behind the scenes and Eileen and all who greeted us, Hunter and Johnny and Beth, and so many ways to delight in the expression of the infinite. And I delight in the expression of each individual here today, joining us in person and online, whenever and wherever we are. What a thing to behold and be grateful for. And so I say yes, I say thank you, Infinite Spirit. And so I let it be, and so it is.
Let it
Nice. Choir on fire with Gino. Very, very nicely done. Very nice. 21 years ago this morning, we gathered on a Sunday for the first time. And as a way to celebrate that, you're all invited, and you online are invited as well, to Pioneer Park after our second gathering. A generous member stepped up and is having a meal catered for us in the park of Greek food. So please come and join us for breaking bread together and sharing stories and just being together. And there's directions on a half-sheet flyer in the back to Pioneer Park. So if you would like to join us, you could just leisurely make your way over there after our second gathering. So 21 years ago, we gathered for the first time. We gathered for the first time with a single intent: to become an inclusive, welcoming spiritual community, open to experiencing divine love. And I have to tell you, I am so humbled and so overwhelmed with gratitude that 21 years later, we are a welcoming, inclusive community gathered together to experience divine love. We began as that. We've been that through 21 years. We're that today. We're doing it. We're doing it. I'll acknowledge that we haven't always done it perfectly. But then human beings never do anything perfectly all the time, right? It's an opportunity for us to forgive ourselves, forgive each other, dust ourselves off, and get back on the path. Get back on the path. You know, it blows me away to consider how many thousands of people have walked through that threshold and have felt connection or inspiration or gained insights about their lives or the divine. We give 10% of what you give us from the very first day. So if you gave us $100 on that first day, we took 10 of that, along with 10% of what everyone else gave, and we gave it out to people and to organizations doing the work of love on our planet. And we continue that today. So today, for instance, Bob Waller, if you give $1,000 today, we will give $100 to an organization that spreads love. And it joins all that other. So how many $1,000s do we have? No, not yet. So I will say that we get those organizations and people who we give to from you. So if you know of an organization that's doing really great work out there, or an individual, please let us know. Because we really would love to give to organizations or to individuals that you know of, that you work of. So even if you're online, you could go on our website under the tab, Lee, what's the tab? Global Heart Tithe. Oh, that's an easy one. Global Heart Tithe, that's what its name is. Global Heart Tithe, and fill out an application. But yeah, so the other thing we've done, we're always growing ministers around here. We've grown about 15 ministers. Wow. And two are with us, Sarah and Sherry, doing their work here. One made his transition, but there are 12 ministers out there engaged in doing the work of spiritual community. And we raised them and we trained them. And you know, if there was a gift of COVID, it's that now we could broadcast to the world. And we're doing that. We are reaching people all over the world through the energy of our community, with the energy of our community. We have more people on a Sunday joining us online than we do gathered in our building. So each Sunday we have a number of people who are being inspired by our being together. So we're doing what Spirit is calling us to do. And what exactly is that? What exactly is Spirit calling us to do? Well, there is a story that happened on the first Sunday morning of our gathering. And it exemplifies what it is we're doing. If you've been here in any one of our anniversaries, you've heard this story. Joan's probably heard it 20 times. And Margot. You didn't hear the first time because it happened that morning. So here's what it is. We gathered for the first time on a Sunday morning. There were about 100 of us. And we were at the Masonic Lodge where we used to meet in Hillcrest. And we were, those of you familiar with that building, we weren't in the lodge part. We were in the community room or the big dining area. And so I was in the back greeting people as they came in. And those of you who remember Devavani, she was our first music director and moved to Guam. Loved you, Devavani, for so many years of being together. She was leading the Kong song. I joked around that she sang Kumbaya, my Lord, but she didn't. So I'm in the back with Guy Williams, who was a practitioner, though some of you know him. He's a minister now in Fallbrook, our center in Fallbrook. So we were back there. And as people were coming in and getting excited, my anxiety and fear was rising. I was getting more and more nervous. And she came up and led all of you, pretty much a situation like this. You all stood and you sang whatever song she led you in. And I was in the back getting near panicked. And at some point, it was time for Guy and I to come down, and I start coming down, and I realize a couple things in that short walk down. I realize that if we're going to launch this thing, that each Sunday, I'm going to be expected to get up here and be vulnerable and revealing and inspiring and funny. And that was a lot. And I thought, I can make it through one, maybe two talks. But every week, and I'm just like, what? About halfway through, I thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I don't know if it appears this way, but I do have a large introverted private side. And I did know that becoming a minister, I would be called on to live my spiritual life publicly. And that scared me, to be that revealing and that vulnerable and that raw with you. So I'm about 3/4 the way down now, the aisle. And I noticed, not unlike this, there was an exit sign. And that sign jetted out, and it was such nice green glowing color. And the door was actually kind of open, and this brilliant, radiant, warm sunlight just beckoning me towards it. And I knew right out there was my car parked. And I thought, I could walk from here, because I set up just like this, just across the aisle, get in my car, drive home, call Guy and say, you know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. And that thought literally crossed my mind. I didn't do that. I came up on the stage and I turned around to a full room, not unlike this, and I said, good morning. And after I said good morning, everyone stood on their feet and were clapping and yelling. Thank you. Yeah, along with a head cold, now you do this to me. I have to get through this, guys. So what do? We call people from the smallness and the fear and the defendedness of their lives. We call people from the excuses, from the reactions, from their limitations, into a greater expansion of their lives, into a greater expansion of spiritual community, into a greater expansion of God's love. I had 21 years ago reached the point that I was tired of the excuses, the backpacking, the backtracking, the pulling away, the shutting down. And I was ready to respond to the call to stand before you and be vulnerable. To stand before you and together to find ourselves to a greater experience of God's love. I came with my fear. I came with my unhealed baggage, but I came just like you do. When you step through the edges and the boundaries and the excuses and the limitations of your life, when you say, even though it's scary and you don't know that it's going to work out and you don't know of the way, even though you show up and you take the next step, because that's how expansion and love and intimacy happen and grow. When you and I move through the fears. So what do we do as spiritual community? We call people from the isolation of their lives to the power of spiritual connection, the intimacy of spiritual connection. We call people from the suffering and the pain of their lives into the experience of joy and bliss. We call people from a feeling of not good enough and not worthy to discover our own inner magnificence. There's a couple things after 21, a few things after 21 years that I'm really aware of. I wish today, I've got gone back 21 years ago to that guy that walked down the aisle and said, relax. It's all going to work out. Don't take it so seriously. So I want to say that to you, no matter what you're facing. Relax. It's going to work out. Don't take it so seriously. I'm so aware, I honestly don't know if I learned this from someone or just experienced it, but I certainly experienced it. in the context of the community. I am so aware that the divine calls us to solitude, to experience a part of the divine that can only be experienced in solitude, in stillness and spaciousness. So we're called to solitude, to stillness, to spaciousness. I also experience and know there's a part of the divine that calls us to intimacy, because there's only a part of the divine that can be experienced in relationship. Because nothing like relationship teaches us how to love and how to be loved. And nothing like relationship shows us where we are unhealed. Isn't that the truth? So community, the intimacy of community becomes a necessary tool in our experience of the divine. It's because we get to discover those places within us that react, that need attention and love, that need to be brought back home. I will tell you, one of the saddest things for me about being a minister for 21 years is to see individuals in our community who have been in reaction. Reaction to someone else in the community, reaction to our teaching, reaction to me, reaction to leadership, whatever. Get in reaction. And that excites me because there's an opportunity there for healing. But what causes me sadness is when there's a reaction, a shutting down, and a leaving. Because that stops communication, it stops any kind of healing, and it takes the person right back to the old patterns that they had lived in. And there's no opportunity for growth. I know this because it's been my pattern. So I know this pattern well of reacting, shutting down, and leaving. And Spirit, in its wisdom, brought me here. In front of you, because there's no place here to hide. There's really no place here to shut down. And so in your life, wherever there is reaction, it is not a call to shut down and close down and go deeper into your patterns. It's a call to bring love and awareness and compassion to those parts of you that are triggered. And then, when you're ready to have the dialogue or the conversation that brings about healing and wholeness. So if you get anything out of this morning's talk, get this. Stay open. No matter what. Don't shut down. We can have our reactions. That's part of being on this physical plane. Don't shut down the very people in your life whose Spirit has brought you there for healing. Look around your life, you know who they are. So what I am so grateful for about this community is to stop hiding, to stand here and not go away, and to be vulnerable and to be present to you. That's what I'm most grateful for. So on this, let's take a breath here. Let's take a deep breath. Sorry for those of you who are holding it. I would have asked you to breathe sooner had I. So I'd like to open this up. What are some of the things that you're grateful for about us? What are some things you're grateful for about our community? Yeah, Elizabeth is a charter member. Hi, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth said, who is a charter member, that the love that was here and the acceptance from the beginning. So thank you. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, Chris. Consistency. We get up early every Sunday morning. That's good. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Becky. Connection. Sweet and simple. Thank you. Thanks for that. Joel. Willingness to go.
To transform and have the courage to, and willingness and facilitating, committing and allowing ourselves enthusiastically to move through it.
So the willingness to move forward. I have to say this. I read this morning in my spiritual reading. It takes courage to leave those things in our lives that are not working. Isn't that weird? That are not working. Because we're attached to them. Yeah. It takes courage to leave those things in our lives that are not working. Joel Goldsmith. I'm someone else. Boy, just a couple of you. Cheryl. The amazing people surrounding you. The amazing people. Thank you. Dana.
I would say putting not only your words and the power of your words, but combining that with music.
Yeah, that came up.
And movement.
Yeah, thank you. That came up first gathering. Message and music. Message and song, movement. Thank you, Dana. Doug.
Always being reminded to fully participate in life.
Always be reminded to fully participate in life. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, Joan.
That there is a place that my spiritual beliefs can be acknowledged
Yeah.
and accepted.
Right.
And maybe not always agree exactly, but that
Yeah.
there is the openness.
So there's a space and a place that a lot of Joan's spiritual beliefs are supported, not entirely, but a lot. And there's an open space to have differing views. Did I say that right? Okay. Yes, Pat.
And a part of that is trust.
Trust. You're grateful for the trust that you experience here. Yeah, Trish.
But you're still the same.
I'm still the same.
Now it's online. Those of us who live far away, I'm just so happy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. She says that we're still here. We're still here because of your generosity, which we'll get into in a little bit. Mike. Yeah, Michael. Comfort. You feel comfort here. That's nice. Thank you, Michael. Yeah.
Educational aspect and the outside of Sundays, we can meet to study books.
Yeah. The educational aspect, which this philosophy has a big component on. Yeah, thank you, Carly. Yeah, Conrad.
Just feeling better every Sunday when I leave,
Yeah.
when I came in.
Yeah, I think that is just the indication of a good community. You feel better when you leave than you come in. That's good. Amy.
Combining words with action, I think we walk to talk and have a lot of calls to action and activities in which we get to express that.
That also came out in first gathering. We walk the talk. So we challenge you with action and participation as well as talking to you. Yeah. Yes.
We're grateful for you for showing up for us every Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I read this quote. Actually, Lee's father wrote this and put it on a frame. And it ended up, when we moved into these offices, in my office. So I'm going to read a version of this. In short, we are called to remove all the blocks that we have built against love. We're not called to find love out there. We're called to remove all the blocks that keep us from love. So, where are we going? I'd like to address that briefly. We're continuing to do what we've been doing, and that's a good thing. We're continuing as we feel called to respond to the call to love. We are also, our first month that we gather, that it was actually, last Sunday in September, but in October, our first theme for the month was the Great Invitation. And the idea was to invite everyone to come be a part of us. So 21 years later, we are doing that very thing by hiring a social media company who are assisting us in our branding, in our messaging, and how best to get out the message about who we are, coupled with an invitation. The second thing we're doing is we're hiring professionals. Tim, you're a professional, right? Yeah, this morning you are. We're hiring professionals to really hone in on our broadcasting so that we broadcast stellar Sunday gatherings and Wednesday night gatherings so that people can experience the energy and, again, the invitation to come join us. So that's where we're headed as the future. I'm very excited about it. I'm grateful you're a part of it. And I would like to read this reading again, which was actually the very first reading on the very first Sunday we met. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Sit up straight and tall. And I just get an awareness that right where you sit, right where you're sitting, the Divine One is also sitting. Right where you are is the fullness of divine presence. So our reading this morning, as our first morning, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. We do well to listen to the inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope. It tells us of a love beyond our fondest dreams. And it tells us of a freedom that our souls crave.
So this song is dedicated to each and every one of you. 21 years of an intentional community to love, to grow, to share, and to do what we do, to pray. We celebrate each other.
a light inside of your brother. And I don't know if you know there's a light that is so bright. Just thought I'd tell you
There is a light inside of your sister, and I don't know if you know there's a light that is so bright. Just thought I'd tell you.
there is a love inside of your heart. And I don't know if you know there's a love that is so strong. Just thought I'd tell you
There is a strength inside of your soul, and I don't know if you know there's a strength inside of your soul. Just thought I'd tell you.
there is a power inside of us all. And I don't know if we know there's a power inside of us all. And it's time to celebrate. 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 There is a light inside of us all. And I don't know if we know there's a light inside of us all. Just thought I'd tell you
There is a light inside of us all, and I don't know if we know there's a light that is so bright. Just thought I'd tell you. Celebrate, 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 celebrate. There is a light inside of us all, and I don't know if we know there's a light that is so bright. Just thought I'd tell you there is a light inside of us all, and I don't know if we know there's a light that is so bright. And it's time to celebrate. 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 Celebrate.
Fire on fire! So if you were at our first gathering, please don't participate in this question I'm going to ask, because you know the answer. So as most of you know, a generous donor came up and said that they would provide up to $10,000 matching fund for the center if our community matched up to $10,000. So guess what number we're at? $1, $9,000. Keep guessing. We're not leaving till someone gets it. No. 9,500. So, thank you for your generosity. Let's not let midnight happen without reaching that goal. Let's not do that. Pressure's on. And this is above and beyond your normal giving. Invite you to assist us in getting over the little hiccup we had financially through COVID. So at each anniversary, I acknowledge my partner, my husband of 24 years, who has faithfully been. Well, I always used to refer to him as the guy behind the curtain, because he's just always working so hard without taking the stage at all. And this year he's in India. But I asked him yesterday if he would send us, he would come join us, and he said he would. So here's Tim from India.
Good morning, Universal Spirit Center, and greetings from Bangalore, India. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tim Hepburn. I'm the Reverend's better half, and I'm here standing on my balcony on this sunny Sunday morning in full Indian attire. I'll try to give you a quick peek. I'm wearing a kurta as well as a dhoti, and I'm here on business and pleasure, working for the next 3 months. I'm sad that I am not physically able to be with you guys here on our 21st anniversary, but please know that my spirit and my heart are with you celebrating. And so I'm here to ask for our conscious giving. And I just wanted to take a moment to say, that I am a charter member, that I've been here from the inception, but the real reasons that I give to this community is basically this, what I'm doing here, what's surrounding me. I feel like when I'm in India, I'm living my best life. And it's because of our teachings, it's because of the work that I've done with practitioners, it's because of sitting with you in spiritual community every Sunday for the last 21 years that has allowed me to see that this greatness existed within me, something that I think for many years I did not know was there. And it's because of this community that I've allowed it to be uncovered. I've allowed myself to step into my wholeness, into my greatness, and I want this place to be around for other people to experience the same things that I'm experiencing. And so if you have a gift to give today, please place it over your heart and know with me as I pray that we're just so grateful. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for all the many blessings that flow into our lives. We know that these blessings flow in and provide joy and blessings to us immediately, but also spill out and over into those around us, that we are a giving community, that we are a loving community, and know that we have enough, and we do enough, and we are enough. And so I just simply say thank you again, and let it be, and so it is. Amen. All right, have a great celebration, everybody. Bye.
From the inside out, I'm so happy.
acknowledge the choir one more time in Gino. So, I'm going to invite you to please stand. Place your hands over your heart. Take a deep breath in. And know that we stand in the gathered energy of 21 songs and prayers and awakenings and insights and messages and being together. 21 years. We just open now to that grace, to that life, to that intimacy. Where the divine intimacy fill us, radiate, flow over, and radiate out into our lives. And let's just on this morning, as we prepare for Rosh Hashanah tonight, the Jewish New Year, let us know a mighty blessing on all beings everywhere. As the Jewish faith celebrates a new cycle of light, we join them in this celebrating. We join them in the experience of light, sending it to all beings everywhere. And let's know this as we say together.
We let it be.